Wondering what did you prepare for, or what were your strategies in getting this straight set win and not losing that early lead?
I think
The
every
ultimate
match is
betrayal,
different.
Alex Eala's three-word response that left President Marcos stunned. Brace yourselves, tennis fans, because what you're about to hear shatters every assumption you've ever had about Alex Eala, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., and the true cost of carrying a nation's hopes. This is not a heartwarming sports headline. This is a political, emotional, and cultural earthquake, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why 3 short words sent tremors through Malacañang Palace and left an entire country speechless. Welcome back to Court Vision Media, the only platform fearless enough to strip away the polish and deliver the unfiltered reality of modern tennis. I'm your host, and today we're unpacking a story so volatile, so uncomfortable, that major outlets have chosen silence over truth. If you're ready to confront what really happened between the president of the Philippines and the nation's tennis icon, hit that like button right now, and let's expose what no one else dares to say. Let me ask you this, have you ever read a single exchange and instantly felt your chest tighten? Have you ever revisited a message twice, just to be sure you weren't misreading its weight? That's exactly what unfolded when Alex Eala replied to President Marcos publicly. And trust me, the reality is far heavier than what the headlines suggested. January 2026. Everything changes. The Australian Open is underway. The early rounds are barely finished. And standing at the center of a global media storm is 20-year-old Alexandra Maniego Eala, the young woman who dared to believe a Filipino kid could conquer the most elite sport on earth. She isn't just another rising star. She is the first Filipina to enter the WTA Top 50, the first Filipino ever to win a Grand Slam at any level after her dominant 2022 U.S. Open Juniors run, and the athlete an entire nation crowned as its future. 115 million Filipinos were told, explicitly and implicitly, that she was the one. And then came Melbourne Park. Court 6. The Australian Open main draw. Filipino flags flooded the stands. Chants of Laban Alex. Pilipinas echoed like a rally cry. This wasn't a match, it was a national pilgrimage. Across the net stood Alicia Parks, an American with raw power and relentless aggression. What followed felt unreal. Eala was flawless. Her lefty forehand carved the court. Her movement was lethal and elegant. She annihilated the first set 6-0. A bagel. In a Grand Slam. Against a top 70 opponent. Social media detonated. Manila erupted. History was unfolding. Then tennis reminded everyone how cruel it can be. Parks found her range. The momentum flipped. Set 2, 6-3 Parks. Set 3, 6-2 Parks. Just like that, Alex Eala was out in the first round. Most stories would end there. This one didn't. The president steps in. Within hours, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the most powerful man in the country, issued a public message. Exactly 15 words long, the fight continues, Alex. We all watched you make history. The whole Philippines is behind you. The media praised it. Analysts applauded the gesture. It looked like standard political encouragement. Then Alex Eala replied. Not with gratitude. Not with emojis. Not with ceremony. She wrote 3 words, para sa Bayan. For the country. And everything froze. Why those words changed everything. Para sa Bayan is not casual language. It is revolutionary language. It is the phrase shouted by freedom fighters, soldiers, and athletes marching under the flag. It is identity, sacrifice, and duty compressed into 3 syllables. But context matters. Alex had just lost. She had just collapsed under unimaginable pressure. And in that vulnerable moment, the president reminded her, the nation is watching. That message wasn't just support, it was obligation. And her response wasn't freedom. It was surrender. Not for myself. Not for my dream. But for the country. That's when the realization hit. Alex Eala wasn't just playing tennis anymore. She was carrying a nation. The Philippine Women's Open, pressure amplified. Days later, Eala returned home for the first ever WTA Philippine Women's Open, held at Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. Behind the scenes, the stakes were enormous. The Marcos administration had invested heavily. The optics mattered. Public funds. Global credibility. National pride. And once again, Alex Eala was the centerpiece. This wasn't sport. This was a performance with consequences. And she delivered. 6-1, 6-2 demolition of Elena Cariva. 6-4, 6-0 domination of Jimeno Sakatsum. The crowd roared. Flags waved. History marched forward. But look closer, between points, her face told a different story. Not fatigue. Emotional depletion. Afterward, she smiled and said all the right things about home pride and dreams fulfilled. What she couldn't say? I'm terrified of letting you down. The dark side of national glory. This is where sports nationalism turns toxic. Alex left home as a child to train in Spain at the Rafa Nadal Academy. She missed birthdays, holidays, funerals, entire chapters of life. Eala Corporation funded her rise. The Philippine Sports Commission backed her journey. She became a national project. And national projects don't get to fail quietly. At world number 49, she's historic, but also trapped in tennis's most brutal zone. Not rich enough to coast. Not high enough to breathe. Every match is survival. Every peso invested comes with expectation. Para sa Bayan wasn't just patriotism. It was dead acknowledgement. Has the pressure changed her? Watch her play now. The aggression is extreme. Margins are gone. Every shot feels like a verdict. Some call it killer instinct. Others see desperation. History warns us, this is how prodigies burn out. And that's why this exchange is terrifying. Not because it was malicious, but because it normalized exploitation disguised as pride. Or, is it her power? There is another possibility. Maybe she thrives on this. Maybe the weight sharpens her. Maybe para sa Bayan is fuel, not a chain. Usain Bolt did it. Messi did it. Maybe Alex Eala is built the same way. Only she knows. The question we must answer. Are we supporting Alex the human or Alex the symbol? If she asked to step back, would we allow it? Or would we destroy her for it? That answer defines us, not her. Final thought. Alex Eala lives in a golden cage. Para sa Bayan is both the key and the lock. Whether it becomes her legacy or her undoing remains to be seen. But one thing is undeniable, those 3 words changed everything. Now it's your turn. Backhand index pointing down. Do you see Alex Eala's response as empowering or alarming? Does national pressure create champions or break them? And can she win her first Grand Slam in 2026, or will expectation prove too heavy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If this deep dive challenged your perspective, smash that like button. Subscribe to Court Vision Media and turn on notifications. We tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. More investigations are coming. The politics behind Grand Slam wildcards. How social media is crushing young athletes' mental health. The fight continues. The truth continues. And Court Vision Media will be here every step of the way. See you in the next one. Stay sharp. Stay questioning. Peace.
Reporter, alam na nyo, nangyayari talaga yan. Kaya tinitiyak namin na pagka kami ay sumampa ng kaso, yung kasong yan ay